Welcome. Passport Ready Podcast, Episode 3. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's been maybe 2 months since we did our last one. It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 podcasts going, the single at 40 and then the Passport Ready, so got to make it a priority to do more Passport Ready ones.
Yeah, it was, we already came back from our trip, but it was a good one.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We went to Boracay for a few days on our last trip and had a pretty good time. Took a large group of people, stayed at the Heenan, went out on boats, did all that good stuff.
Yeah, it was it was good to show the group that we brought, the different things we get into over there, especially like Mackey's Beach Resort, and just being around like Fred and James and those guys we've known for years. So it was a good experience seeing those guys and introducing them to the people that we met, that we brought.
Yeah, I found a new couple good restaurants. We found a Korean barbecue place right next to the Heenan Lagoon we stayed at that was really good. All you can eat. Me and Glenn went there.
Yeah, good stuff. And I mean, we got great weather, which I think it rained, right after we left. So
yeah, they got a bunch of, not tsunamis, but typhoons after we left. We got lucky on the weather. It's the rainy season starts, around June, and that's when we went, so it's always a crapshoot, but we got super lucky on that. Yeah,
I mean, and the experience of just being on those boats with, we normally go and it's us, and we have our decent-sized group, but I think this trip we had, close to 30 people.
Yeah, it was like 27.
Yeah, so it was good to know that we can do it. The guys have, if you're ever going to Boracay and, you have a huge group, you could always get a private, boat, island hopping and all that.
Yeah, I mean, group travel, family travel is kind of our thing. We don't ever travel with a small group. It's always, at least 8 people or more, depending on the trip. So Boracay is definitely a place that can handle any size group, even like the Heenan. Moving us from the airport to the hotel was pretty damn smooth. They're very good at moving people. And then check-in was actually pretty smooth, and they always have a great breakfast at the Heenan resorts. So I think there's 7 or 8 properties in Boracay that are Heenan resorts, and I highly recommend any of them. Price point for U.S. dollars is anywhere between $180 to $250 a night, depending on if it's oceanfront or newer or older resort. So check all of them out on the website they have. And if you're going to go to Boracay and you want to stay somewhere that's, I wouldn't call it 5-star, but I'd say it's pretty close for Philippine standards. It's extremely nice, great AC, good hotels. I mean, we always stay at them.
I mean, what makes it great is the breakfast included, in part of it. So it's always nice to have that, and it's like a big buffet,
Yeah, definitely a lot of food, and we always pay extra to get the airport transfer because it just makes things so much easier. But if you're not into that, check out My Philippines channel. They just put their Boracay video out, and he shows the do-it-yourself way of getting, you jump in a trike from the airport and then go over to the jetty port and get on one of the public ferries, and he walks you through all the paperwork you got to do and, the cost and all that. So it's a really good video. Check it out. Yeah. My Philippines channel.
Very informative. And I mean, even his video, there's so much to do in Boracay that, even his video showed that, there's places and restaurants I've never been to. So it was cool to see.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing to me, the fact that the video came out last week and he did a bunch of stuff that I wish we would have done,
Yeah.
Those hydrofoil board looks pretty cool. It's like a hydrofoil, but it's got a motor, so it's like you're on a surfboard with a motor that's like pushing you around. That looked really fun. And then some of the restaurants he went to, I never even heard of.
Yeah, and they look good. I mean,
really good.
I want to say that one breakfast spot he goes to, it's right on, right in Station 2. I probably walked by it a number of times.
The place with the calamansi muffins.
Yeah.
I mean, that place is famous, I think. We've never been. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But even on Philippine Airlines, in those little videos they have on the flights, like they talk about that place.
Oh, okay.
So it's a well-known spot. So I think that's probably why he hit it up. And he seemed to really like the muffins. I guess that's like their go-to thing there.
Yeah, no, it's a great video. His other one too with Manila was very informative, and just different ways to travel through the city and stuff. So
yeah, and I heard his next video is going to be Bohol, so we're going to keep talking about that channel because it's information-wise, it's the best Philippines travel thing I've seen. The Manila video, they've only got 2 videos out. They just recently started, and the Manila video is awesome too. Another place we spent a lot of time at, and all the places he goes in that video we've never been to. Like, I'd love to go to Chinatown.
Yeah.
The food there looks amazing, you know.
And he's a good guy. I mean, Andrew's a friend of ours, so, you know, we're hyping him up, but it's very informative, great, you know. Kane, his videographer, is awesome as well, so.
Now I'm excited to see the Bohol one, because we've been there, I don't know, 2 times, and I can't wait to see what he shows us that we don't know about there.
Yeah, it's probably a ton of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot smaller than Boracay when it comes to the area of the tourism, but I'm sure there's some things that he does that we've never done, so
yeah,
that's exciting. And then our next trip coming up, we're going to go to Vietnam. We're going to go to Da Nang and Saigon, so we're going to talk a little bit about that when we get back, obviously, on this podcast, and have some videos queued up for it, and we'll talk about it again probably before we leave and tell you what hotels we decided to stay at and give that information and price. But we're just in the planning phases of that. We know we're going in September. We got the flights booked, flying from Manila directly to Da Nang, which is a new path for Philippine Airlines. I think it's 3 days a week. Really cheap flights because they're trying to get people to go on that flight. So I think it was like $86 one way, US.
That's an international flight, too.
Yeah, international flight. You really can't beat that. And then from there, we stay there a few days, and we fly down to Saigon from Da Nang on Vietjet, and that was another cheap one. I think it was like $68 for that inter-country flight, which is pretty cheap, so exciting.
Yeah. And I mean, it's rainy season in the Philippines, but, you know, even tourism seemed kind of down in Boracay when we were there, so, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the day we left, the jetty port was empty, which tripped us out, because usually that place is just packed with people. But then again, it is the rainy season, so, you know, their big season is March, April, and then obviously anytime around Christmas, the holidays are really big. So interested to see what kind of weather we get in Vietnam. I know it's still rainy season in that region of the world, but hopefully we can catch some good weather. And I know September is usually a downtime for anywhere you travel, which isn't, you know, bad for us. Like, not that we're searching for crowds, you know.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, going back to our trip in Boracay, I mean, we also went to a place called Magic Island, you know, that little, it's one of the spots that they take a bunch of tourists, you know, but we spent the day there, cliff jumping and, you know, eating lunch. And, I mean, those are also things that you could do. And, I mean, especially when you do these private tours, you can kind of dictate where you want to go, and if you want to snorkel for, you know, longer periods, or if you want to go, you know, spend just all the time on the beach or whatever.
Yeah, Magic Island was cool. We had been there, goddamn, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think our very first trip to Boracay, when we went island hopping and we first met Fred and, you know, Ben and James and those guys, that's, I think, one of the first places we went. And to see it again 10 years later, it's, I wouldn't say more developed, but they got a little more going on. Well,
they have a covered area to eat, and I remember not having a lot of shade. You know, there wasn't a ton of shade. I just remember being, you know, pretty hot. And since we got good weather, you know, it was just a nice, relaxing day. So, and I think it's one of those places, you know, most tourists, when you go to Boracay, you go to those places, but it was good to go back. You know, we hadn't been in years, so.
So yeah, if anybody watching wants to take a trip to Boracay and they want the contact info of our boat crew, definitely hit us up. Pretty much the way we do it is we usually meet up with them. We tell them what hotel we're staying at and what time we'll be there when we arrive, and because we're going to go out on their boat the next day usually. So they usually meet us at the hotel about the time we check in. And the way we do it is we give them cash up front for the boat and then also for lunch. And you just tell them what you want to eat, like lobster, shrimp, you know, whatever. And then they'll fill in the blanks with, you know, rice and mangoes and all that cool stuff. And so we give them money, and then the next day we go out on the boat and they cook the lunch wherever we end up. Like Magic Island that day, they had the lunch prepared for us there. And then obviously Mackey's, like we've shown in other videos. So trustworthy guys. I know people are probably like, oh, give money up front, but no, that's the way you do it there. And they'll definitely show you a great time and make some great food for you. And you can pick your menu.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I mean, it's nothing beats just, you know, relaxing on the beach, like on Mackey's, you know, on the beach and just hanging out and eating and chilling. So.
And on this podcast, I'm sure Glenn's going to put some footage of the trip behind us talking and show some of the food. I mean, it's fantastic, you know.
It's all, you know, it's cooked right there, and no, it's good stuff, man. And that's basically the idea behind this channel. It's like we want to show people our, you know, our experiences, our adventures, and places we go and what we get into. And you know, you can't do that stuff. I mean, you do something like that here in Hawaii, and I don't even know.
Way
what that
too
would,
expensive. Well, you never get that type of food and
the service.
that type of service and that type of, pick your menu type of stuff. I mean, I'm not saying it's not available, but if it was, I'm sure it's extremely expensive.
Yeah, I mean, even just to go on a boat snorkeling with a bunch of people you don't know in a group, I mean, whatever, it runs, a couple hundred probably a head. Or
yeah, and to get a private boat in Hawaii, it's somewhere between $15,000 to $2,000 an hour with like a 4-hour minimum.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do the math, and then that doesn't include the food. You got to pay extra for that, and it's usually like either hamburgers and hot dogs or sandwiches,
Yeah.
Like the last time we went out on a boat in Maui for a work event, I think it was like sandwich wraps that they bought at Costco,
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't a good time, but it's not as personal and it's nowhere near as the quality you get in the Philippines.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where, I mean, we've been doing this for years, and our trip to El Nido years ago, we chartered like a yacht, and I mean, for the most part, it's super nice, and it was you would think it would be really expensive. It wasn't. I mean, compared to U.S. prices, so it's definitely something you can do if you travel to that side of the world, and you're into that.
Yeah, if you're into marine life and snorkeling and island hopping, it's a great time. And even the yachts in El Nido, and even the yacht we got in Pattaya in Thailand, I mean, they range between $1,500 to $2,000 for the entire day, private, meaning however many guests you have. Like we said, we kind of focus on group travel or family travel. So if you've got more than, I would say, 6 people and up, getting the private charter is the way to go if you can afford, $1,500 for the day. And that usually includes all the food and drinks you want. And you can kind of tailor the boat to go wherever you want, which is nice too.
Yeah. I mean, especially like in El Nido, and you have those specific tours, they go to specific spots. You kind of dictate where you want to go. If it's too crowded over here, we go somewhere else, And I mean, I'm looking forward to our March travels. I mean, if we go back to that, to Palawan, we'll get back into that. So.
Yeah, we're definitely going to go to Palawan in March. We don't know exactly where. There's a trip our friend Andrew from My Philippines channel has told us about, where you take a boat from Coron, and it takes, I think, 2 or 3 days to go to El Nido, and they stop at some remote beaches, and you stay the night. I think you camp out type of stuff. So there's not a lot of information on those trips on the internet. I've seen a couple on YouTube, but I know he's going to make a video of that. I don't know if he's waiting for us to come to make that video, but that's going to be an exciting trip if we end up doing that. I mean, the plan is we're going to, but obviously it's kind of far away, so can't really lock it in yet. But if we do, we'll make a bunch of content on it and show people. But it sounds pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. I've never, I mean, before we even started traveling to the Philippines, I've never, chartered anything, or private, boats or whatever. But when you start to do it, it's, just adds on to your, great vacation if that's what you're into. And yeah, I mean, I look forward to it all the time. So.
Well, that's the great thing about Southeast Asia is you're traveling like a millionaire on a smaller budget. To do those things in Europe or the United States are extremely expensive. And I mean, I realize $1,500 to take a boat out for the day, like a chartered yacht, is expensive for some people, but compared to what you'd pay somewhere else, it's completely worth it. And back to the Boracay thing, like, we don't ever charter a yacht. We just go with our group there, and they get different sized boats depending on how we are. And usually the cost of the boat's like $300 to $400 for the day, which isn't bad. That doesn't include the food. That's just for the boat and the captain and the crew that they have on the boat. But you pay $300 or $400 depending on the size of the boat, and that covers the fuel and the Coast Guard and all that stuff, all the paperwork that they take care of for you. Then you can tailor your lunch, and for a couple $100 you can have a pretty good lunch. Like the last time we got lobster, and that kind of upped the price a little bit, but I mean, we had 27 people, and I think I gave them about $450 US, and it was all you can eat: lobster, shrimp, pork, fish, and insane.
You can't beat that.
So do the math, is about $900, but if you include the tips and everything, and it was a full day, leave at 9 a.m. in the morning, and you don't get back till, I mean, you can take them back whenever you want, and that's usually when we're tired and it's been a long day, we'll call it. And I think we got back that day at like 4 o'clock. So a full day on the water, couple stops for snorkeling, private beach lunch, $900, 27 people.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't beat it. And it's a great experience. It's, especially when the weather's good, and, it's just one of those vacations you don't ever forget. So.
Well, it's always cool to bring people that have never been, because obviously Glenn and I have been to Boracay. I don't even know how many times,
Yeah.
Many, many times. And you take these people, and it's like anything. You kind of, when you have a view at your house, you kind of get numb to it, right? And I remember the first morning we went out, we were headed to Mackey's. When we left Boracay and we're going around the main channel, passing Aklan and headed towards Mackey's, there's all these like beautiful cliffs. And a bunch of the people who were there for the first time, they were all whipping out their cameras and like taking pictures, and it just puts into perspective like how beautiful it is, because it's like, oh, I've been here so many times. It's like I'm just looking at when are we going to get to the beach, and these people are just like, wow, it's so beautiful. And it's like, yeah, I got to slow down a bit and enjoy the beauty.
And that's how it is even with El Nido too. Like, because those limestone cliffs, and like you just don't, it doesn't seem real when you're there, And I still kind of get like, oh wow, I can't believe you're doing this, So, yeah, if you're listening to this and if it's something you're interested in, there's a lot of content on, people traveling and stuff. But if the stuff that we do is interesting, hit us up, let us know, and we'll connect you with people. So,
and the snorkeling in Boracay is unreal. So on our last trip, 2 of the people that were with us were guys we know from Hawaii, that born and raised in Hawaii, who obviously spend time in the ocean here, and they were blown away with the snorkeling there. And it's just, me and Glenn have been snorkeling in Hawaii a few times, but yeah, the sea life in the Philippines, it's like they're living reefs and there's tons of fish. Like you go to Molokini in Maui, and it's like you're lucky if you see fish anymore, because it's just been so over traveled and the fish aren't there anymore. And in the Philippines, they'll find you a place where there's literally fish everywhere, which is cool if you're snorkeling, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely beautiful.
But yeah, ask any questions you want, and obviously we're pretty well versed in Boracay and El Nido in the Philippines, and a little bit of Thailand, and we're going to hit Vietnam next. And any other destinations that you've been to that are cool, let us know, because we're always looking for anywhere in that region to travel to.
Yeah, no, and for us, it's, there's still so much that we want to see in the Philippines, right? So if there's, any other islands that, are just as nice as Boracay, hit us up, let us know, see if we can go over there and travel.
Definitely, man. And Boracay, if you do look it on the internet, there's a ton of stuff, because it's a very popular island, and some of it's negative. There's a lot of positive stuff. It is a tourist destination, so like I always tell people why I like it is because everything's so simple. Your hotel's right there on White Beach. If you want to spend the day on the beach, it's a couple steps out of your hotel. All the restaurants and shopping you want's right there. So that's why I've always liked it, is the simplicity of it. It's like going somewhere and not having to leave, which I like when I travel. If you want more off the grid and more local experience, if you will, that's definitely not the place. But if you're looking for simplicity and very nice amenities, Boracay is the place. El Nido's not far behind it, but it's definitely not as set up as Boracay is. But the boat trips and the geography and the ocean in El Nido is the best. You can't beat it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if you're looking for something that's similar to Boracay, that's laid back and less people, Alona Beach and Bohol.
Yeah, a lot cheaper too.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper, and they have a Heen in there. They have 2 right on the beach.
Yeah. And we've stayed at both really nice.
And they're like, they're 5-star in my opinion. Those are nice hotels with breakfast included, right by the beach, and for the most part, it's a lot less people. So, and similar. If that's what you're into. So
no, it's very similar. It's a good point. Bohol's great. And then the cool thing about Bohol is they have a big international airport there now that's literally 10 minutes from the beach and the Heenan Resort. So the travel's a lot simpler. Yeah. The Boracay travel's a little bit tedious. It takes, if you're flying from Manila or Clark, from the time you leave your hotel till you get to your hotel in Boracay with everything, it's a full day. It's like 6-7 hours just because.
Yeah, you start to finish.
Airport, and then the van, the boat, and all that. Where Bohol, it's like you can literally leave Manila at like 3:00 and get on your flight, say 4:30, and you're literally at your hotel by 6.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to beat in the Philippines when it comes to travel. That's the other thing. Like, I don't think people realize when you go to these other countries outside of the U.S., like, travel's slow. Like, yeah,
it takes a while, and
so you got to plan that into your trip. Like when you're mobile, it's a lost day.
Yeah, nothing is nothing moves fast over there. Check in and all that stuff. But it comes with the with the trip. You know, you just got to be prepared for it.
Yeah, just be prepared for it, and it's, you know, it can be a tedious day, but at the end of the day, the reward of these places you go to makes it all worth it in the world. You know, the best country to travel if you're into beachfront stuff. I don't see much better options.
Yeah, and that's why we keep going. I mean, it's something we look forward to, and we keep doing it a couple times a year. So
Definitely, and it's super excited about Vietnam. Haven't been there. Da Nang seems like a beach city. It kind of reminds me of Pattaya just from looking at it on the internet. You know, very developed. It looks like a pretty big city like Pattaya is. A lot going on there. Beautiful beachfront hotels, and we got to pick one out and then get you know, moving on that, and that should be a good time there. And then down to Saigon, the big city, which I was talking to a friend a couple weeks ago who had traveled there, and he's a well-traveled guy. I think he said he's been to 40 countries in his travels, and he said Saigon's like top 3 cities he's ever been to. Puts it up there with like Tokyo. Said it's better than Thailand or Bangkok in his opinion, which was interesting to hear because Bangkok's awesome, you know. So it's like if Saigon's cooler than Bangkok, I'm excited as hell, you know, check that out.
I'm looking forward to it. So good stuff.
So yeah, hit us up in the comments and let us know what you want to know, or give us your advice, or tell us stories about your stuff. And anybody that wants to be on our podcast that does travel vlogging, or, you know, just travels alone, let us know. And if we're ever in the same place at the same time, we'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Thanks.